Trapped in Another World as Brothers, Book 1, Chapter 6, Feisty Cleric. Where's Jushiro? Ryukin exclaimed loudly as Kamari sat next to Yuki with his arm wrapped around her. Look, Kenny, I understand, but yelling about it isn't going to get him here quicker. Kamari tried to ease Ryukin's worries, despite he himself being just as worried. Ryukin had a sense of urgency about Jushiro's absence. I'm going to go look for him. Ryukin sat up and headed to the door, but before he left, he looked at Kamari and Yuki with a teasing look. Don't have too much fun. The two blushed, giving a moment's distraction from their anxiety. Ryukin ventured into town. He scoured the streets in search of any clues to Jushiro's whereabouts. This eventually led him into the library, where he asked the librarian where Jushiro was, giving her a description of what he looks like. She was able to tell him that Jushiro had collapsed at the door and was whisked away by a woman he was with to get him to a medical facility, she believed. Which direction is the medical facility? Ryukin chimed loudly after he heard where Jushiro was. The librarian gave him the directions and he ran in that direction as fast as possible. However, his progress was interrupted by a commotion, drawing his attention to a gathering crowd. Amidst the commotion stood a flamboyant figure, basking in the adoration of the masses surrounding him. Even if the admiration seemed forced, Ryukin observed as the man attempted to charm a woman, dark-skinned, black hair and green eyes, wearing a yellow undershirt, leather jacket, as well as brown leather slacks. The woman continuously rejected the man's advances, each rejection getting more and more aggressive. With his curiosity piqued, Ryukin stepped forward to see what was going on. As Ryukin made his way to the front of the crowd, the woman spotted his blade he had gotten from the cult and sought what could only be called a false refuge behind him. Please, sir, please save me from this lecher standing before us. The woman dramatically hid behind Ryukin and pleaded for him to step in quickly. What the hell are you doing? Ryukin, bewildered by the sudden attention, questioned the woman's actions as the man introduced himself. You there! You must be this woman's lover! I am Highness Barrow of the Xylem Kingdom, and I challenge you to a duel! The winner gets to keep the woman! Ryukin was dumbfounded as he responded, She's not an object, and I sure as hell don't want to duel you. However, his rejection was all for naught as Barrow immediately jumped to the attack, swinging his blade wildly, causing Ryukin to dodge just as wildly. Ryukin's heart raced as he evaded Barrow's erratic strikes, his mind struggling to comprehend the sudden turns of events. Ryukin pulled out his blade, and the clang of steel echoed through the air as Ryukin parried Barrow's blows, his movements fueled by a mix of confusion and determination. Amidst the chaos of the duel, the woman whose name Ryukin had yet to learn watched with clear amusement on her face. Ryukin realized she was going to use him as a distraction to get out of dodge. With each clash of their blades, Ryukin felt the weight of the situation pressing down upon him. Barrow's attacks grew more frenzied, fueled by his desire to claim victory and the woman he perceived at Ryukin's side. As the duel raged on, Ryukin's determination began to outweigh his confusion. With a burst of resolve, he countered Barrow's strikes with a calculated precision, each movement bringing him closer to victory. With a final decisive blow, Ryukin disarmed Barrow, sending his sword clattering to the ground. The crowd fell silent, their anticipation giving way to disbelief as Ryukin emerged victorious. Breathing heavily, Ryukin turned to face the woman, whose green eyes sparkled with amusement. She offered him a sly smile, her appreciation evident in the tilt of her head. Looks like you've got some skill, stranger, she remarked, her voice laced with playful sarcasm. Not bad for someone who stumbled into the middle of a royal spectacle. You set me up, Ryukin stated loudly as the woman covered her ears. As the crowd dispersed, the woman stepped closer to Ryukin, her demeanor shifting from amusement to something more earnest. I owe you for that one, she admitted, her gaze meeting his. My name is Sachi. And your name? Sachi asked Ryukin as he sighed. Ryukin, I have a proposition. Let's work together. I'll be the brains behind your brawn. We can make so much money from public duels. She made her offer to Ryukin. As Sachi's offer hung in the air, Ryukin remained steadfast in his refusal. No thanks, I'm good. He stated firmly, his resolve unyielding despite her persuasive words. Sachi's expression hardened, her playful demeanor giving way to frustration. Without warning, she darted forward and delivered a swift kick to the back of Ryukin's head, catching him off guard. What the hell was that for? Ryukin demanded, rubbing the sore spot where Sachi's foot had made contact. Sachi shrugged nonchalantly, her smirk returning as she just crossed her arms. Just trying to knock some sense into you, she retorted, her tone laced with sarcasm. You really need to learn to seize opportunities when they come your way. Ryukin's frustration mounted at Sachi's persistence, yet he couldn't deny the logic in her words. His modern-day clothing and worn appearance were a testament to his dire financial situation, a fact that Sachi seemingly was all too aware of. With a defeated sigh, Ryukin conceded to Sachi's proposition, albeit reluctantly. Fine, but don't expect me to like it, he grumbled, extending his hand to seal their agreement. Sachi's smirk widened into a satisfied grin as she clasped Ryukin's hand in hers. Trust me, you won't regret this, she assured him, her confidence unwavering. Meanwhile, in the shadows of a nearby alley, Barrow's frantic footsteps echoed against the cobblestone as he raced towards the safety of the castle. But before he could reach his destination, a figure emerged from the darkness, a glint of steel flashing in the moonlight. With a swift and deadly motion, the assassin's blade found its mark, silencing Barrow's desperate cries with a single, decisive strike. As the life drained from his body, Barrow's fate was sealed, his demise paving the way for a new chapter in the unfolding saga of this mysterious world. The man took off his hood as his appearance was rugged, a scar across his left eye, black hair put up in a ponytail and a goatee, wearing a brown cloak. In the realm where shadows dance with light, a kingdom grand corrupted by its might, towers tall, cloaked in a dark embrace, yet within lies a treacherous, deceitful space. From lofty thrones rulers' hands extend, grasping power while their subjects bend. But beneath the veneer of regal charm lies a kingdom wrought with grievous harm. As whispers spread of injustice deep, the people's outcry they cannot keep. Forces unseen, like whispers in the night, gather strength ready for their plight. In the hour when stars refuse to shine and the moon hides behind a veil divine, as fate's cruel hand unwinds its thrall, amidst the chaos a beacon shall rise, a righteous force with unwavering eyes. With justice as their sword they'll fight the blight, and bring an end to the kingdom's plight, and path to redemption is not so nigh. For even victory darkness shall remain, and the echoes of corruption they shall sustain. End of Chapter 6.